Do you remember Earl Airheart?
Oh, I remember Earl Airheart. How could I forget him? He was the greatest pilot ever.
So who are you?
I'm Earl Airheart, the best pilot that's ever lived, is living, or ever will live. Who are you?
Hey, I'm just a guy asking questions today. We actually thought you were dead, though. So we're a little surprised that we actually found you.
You know what? You ask too many questions. Guy asking questions. Do you know how valuable my time is? I have a plane to catch.
Mr. Earhart, you're not allowed to smoke in here. Could you tell us a little bit about what Earl was like in his childhood?
Earl was like any other boy. He always wanted to be a pilot. So he would play with his model airplanes and walk around with a leather jacket. He just would not take that thing off.
Now, how long have you been Earl's friend?
Co-pilot. I wasn't really his friend. Earl really didn't like friends. It wasn't because he couldn't make them. It was mostly because he thought friends were emotional attachments that would prevent him from achieving greatness.
Yeah, I dated Earl for a while. I was probably the only one.
You're the only one that we found. It says here that you're his ex-wife. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. That was a mistake, at least according to Earl. We were only married about 30 minutes. After the ceremony, he told me it was just a huge mistake. His only true love was his planes.
Was Earl potty trained?
I tried to train him. I tried as hard as I could. He just refused to learn. I tried until he was almost 12. It never took. He would always go on and on about fighter pilots or some nonsense, and he didn't need to learn how to use a toilet.
No, of course I'm not potty trained. Why do I need to know how to use a toilet? If you want to be an effective fighter pilot, you have to know how to go anywhere at any time. Fighter pilots don't use toilets on a mission.
Yeah, but you realize that going anywhere is something that's not exactly possible in society, right?
How so? Never caused me any problems. As far as society goes, how much society do you think is at 30,000 feet, huh? Not that much, I can tell you that.
Mr. Earhart, please, I've told you once, no smoking in the studio. You're more than welcome to have a drink.
Fine. But I only drink kamikazes. Oh.
You know, people make a big deal about how strange Earl is. I mean, I don't find him strange at all. If anything, I find him inspiring. You know, I think we as people should really try to capture the passion Earl had for everything.
So that means you find public urination inspiring.
Yeah. I find it inspiring, but only if it's passionate. You know.
He told you all the fighter pilot nonsense, didn't he?
Yes.
He would just say it over and over again. Fighter pilots do this, real pilots don't do that. It was ridiculous. He wasn't even a pilot.
Wait, you're saying that Earl Airheart wasn't even a pilot?
Of course not. He couldn't even get into flight school, let alone get a license. He couldn't even read, for God's sake. How could he become a pilot?
Eventually, Earl will realize that his dream is dead. We're all waiting for the day that he does. I just want him to stop living in a dream and come back to reality. All I want is to get my Charles back.
Charles? Who is Charles?
Charles is Earl's real name. He changed his name to Earl Airheart the second time through 4th grade. He's been calling himself that ever since.
Yeah, I've never flown. So what? I met the real Earl Airheart once. He was the best pilot in the world, and I wanted to be just like him. So I took his name. Apparently that's not okay with people.
What happened to the real Earl?
He's dead. Died in a plane crash, I think. Same way I hope to go out.
Yeah, but you're an imposter. You can't even fly.
Alright, so I can't. Who cares? It doesn't mean I can't be the greatest pilot in the world.
Hey, Mr. Whoever you are, I said no smoking in the studio.
You know what? I've had it with you people. Tell me I'm not a pilot. You tell me I can't smoke. Next you're going to tell me you can't stand up in a Cadillac either. I'm done with this.
You're fake.
Uh-oh. I'm done.